anyone that play, you know how, like, I don't know if you followed it or not, but I was following that game before it actually released. I bought it like before, like, the pre everything, so I got like everything for $10 and stuff before it even came out. And so like when I was playing it, um there was like a point where they were nerfing flyers, and everybody freaked the fuck out, and I was just like, I think it's a good thing because like, no, like, it's always like a pain in the ass to level up in that game, and then you get to 40 or whatever it was, and you can get like your first flyer, and the first one isn't really that good, but once you got to the bird, that's all anyone ever used. They'd use the fucking bird, fly over, load up on whatever they wanted, then go right back to their base. If they wanted a dino, they just fly over, they pick up the dino and come back. And with the dragons, it came even worse. So it's like as soon as you get flyers, the game becomes like instantaneously super easy, and you fly across like nothing. But if you ever traveled on land in that game, every 2 seconds your ass is getting eaten by fucking T-Rexes, alpha dinos, gigas. It's a Yeah. That's the other thing, is that they kept adding bullshit in that game. When it first came out, it was like copies, and you had, what was it? You had the copies, and you had, I mean, raptors are a pain in the ass, but the piranhas, I believe. Like, I fucking hated getting in water because there's piranhas every 2 seconds. And then like later on, they ended up adding like, I don't know what they added next. It might have been the underwater scorpion thing, but like the last time I played that, they had the seagulls attacking your ass every 2 seconds, the vultures that attack your ass every 2 seconds, the compies, the water scorpion, the freaking pegomastax that goes and steals your shit, and everything else. And but I like building bases on Ark, and I built the last time I played that, I played Ragnarok, and I went to the plains biome. I rebuilt Helm's Deep from Lord of the Rings, where that waterfall, like the little cave base is. And so that whole mountainside, it turned into a massive, just like castle complex that was a recreation of the Helm's Deep. And it was so big you could stick like T-Rexes in the walls and shit. But the man, I've had a lot of building projects on that game that were just massive, but I hated like breeding T-Rexes and stuff. The most I ever did was I started making my character where it was like 100% crafting characters, and I would optimize my base to where all I could do everything with dinos and not have to run around. And I would get like two Brontos, and I would load up one with all my horses and my dogs and stuff, and then the other one would be like my crafting Bronto, and then I had four T-Rexes that I would just roam around on the island with and kind of like trade with people if they needed something crafted. And that was like kind of the funnest and hardest thing I've ever did on that game, because like your T-Rexes are fighting constantly. But when I played that, continue. I was just gonna say, like, my play style generally on that game is, I personally like raising like the sheep and the horses and stuff. I live kind of old school. And then like my dinos, I like raising hyenas, but you can't beat the game with the tiny hyenas. They get their ass beat by the bosses. But mhm, mhm, mhm. Said one file failed to validate and will be reacquired. Yeah, that's the only thing that sucks about survival games and stuff is alpha clans kind of run everything. I posted a thing on kind of like my secondary Reddit account Dill about suggestions that Scum could use to kind of balance that out. And my whole thing was that, like, because I saw a post before I bought the game saying that mega tribes take over like the Scum map because you can't fight them or anything. And so, what I Ginger, but m- basically my post on there was that the how they could balance it out maybe is if they made basically when you're in a tribe, there's kind of two things to it. One of them is that if you had a tribe that was big, they're going to attract more attention. So they would have more AI and stuff that would be attacking them or like dealing damage, like either out in the world or at their base. And that would make solo players where they're able to one like know where those people are because they can hear the fighting and stuff and give them something like chaos to kind of capitalize on. So you wouldn't have to fight five people. You'd have to fight five people that are getting attacked by, you know, a bunch of zombies. But yeah, I mean, they seem like they think everything out pretty good. So, oh, there was treats in that bag. You dog. Let me try and put on my headset. What was I gonna research here? I don't really, I don't remember what I was gonna look up, but I feel like endurance is just a better skill, but movement speed is just important. Yeah, that was the same thing I thought when I was starting too, is that when you get a car, then you wouldn't really use it. But it's just a toss up because I'm pretty sure, like, I did medium running for a while, and I mean, even when I just asked Google, because you basically lose like 5%, but like 6% of like where I'm at now is like 28.2. So I mean, you'd lose like 2 miles per hour or whatever. But having the extra endurance, I mean, the only thing is that basically you can get ran down because I think people who have faster movement speed can catch someone else faster, but they can't run as long, or the endurance guy can't run as long or something. And it's something like that. It's just they're in like one stamina bar. you're not gonna run as far as somebody with like max running, but yeah. I think there's a happy medium somewhere because I haven't played with it enough, but what's this? Oh, there's mechs here. Um, I haven't really played with it enough, but there's I know I'm pretty sure when I was doing medium running before, I think I had like basic stamina or something. But there's a point where you can run and not lose all your stamina, and I'm just not exactly sure. But my other thing is that when it comes to like food and water, like I understand like once you're established, food and water probably isn't the biggest thing, but I'm constantly having to go out of my way to find food and water when I'm running around, and that that takes time out of my play day because I got to go and find food and water, right? So, oh, and you're breaking up. Middle what? Yeah, your mic or something. You just turned robotic and it's kind of low. That's better. It's, yeah, but like food wise, you'd have to keep steak and everything else on you. Yeah. Hey Google, what's 15% of 30? 4.5. So you'd run if you didn't have any running, you would have basically 25 kilometers per hour movement speed. So running, I got minus 28% consumption rate right now. So I just don't know. I mean, even now, like jogging, you can jog and not use all your stamina. Uh, I don't know. I should have took a better route to get to where I was going because now I have to go around all these coasts. I need to go directly west. Um, almost kind of to the other side of that bridge that's above Z3. I just got too close to the coast, so I had to like run around the bends, and it's kind of annoying. So trying to find a place I can like auto run, but yeah, I'm kind of just on the fence about just in general when it comes to running stats and stuff because they say you can passively level endurance and everything because endurance, strength, and stealth you can all level at the same time. And so at that you'd think it'd be useful, but I mean if you went medium and stealth or not if you went medium endurance and medium running, you're losing like 1 kilometer per hour movement speed. You're gaining I don't even know how much. I mean you'd have 10% stamina recovery. Oh, there's wolves out here. I might die. Yeah. But like in a short-term fight, I don't know if, I don't think stamina would necessarily be the best because like even when you use like melee and everything else, I mean, against puppets, it doesn't really seem too major. Like it's you kind of just attack and then you step back. If there's a bunch of puppets, that's where it gets hectic, but you don't really get much. I mean, you get faster stamina recovery, but it doesn't help you defend against them. I think the food, because like, so if your food and let me look at this stat again. So right now I got minus 50% energy usage speed and minus 50% water usage speed. And so they drop pretty quickly. And so that burns into like my protein and stuff. If you But you have endurance, don't you? Yeah. So your food consumption rate is a lot lower than what mine is. I what is it? It has to be zero, right? Or I don't know how you. So like how much? So when you look at your endurance skill, like you press control and or whatever, and you can see it. What is it? It says like plus 20% recovery rate, and then what does it say for like energy and water? So I don't need to come over here, or just still come over here. I'm just right next to that bridge crossing. That's like the whole. I got to get my stuff set up eventually. I think so. Like tomorrow through like Monday, I work, so I pretty much won't have much time to do anything at that point. But yeah, um, see what I can see over here. So, um, Max endurance. Yeah, I tend to process like a whole bunch of that's basically like what's fun for me when I do stuff is I like tinkering and figuring out things. So I know most of the videos I've seen. Uh, Yep. Yeah, I'm outside of one of the towns, the top part of Z3. All right. Yep. 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 Okay. Well, I'm kind of on the outside of the upper part of the town on Z3 right now. I'm just sitting on a rock ledge looking over it. So I don't know. There's one building that has a door open, but I don't really see anybody. Well, like the upper part, like the top left of the town, or okay. So you're at the bottom of it. Gotcha. All right. I'll try to go back over there real quick. Southeast. Pretty much out of food and water right now, so. Oh, I was at the very beginning of the top part of the town. I'm running down south to the coast. I'm about to be at the top of that yellow or that white road or whatever you talk about. I'm gonna find a way down without breaking my freaking ankle. Oh shit. Well, I accidentally jumped off of a ledge, but I heard footsteps on my right when I was jumping off, so I think someone's on my right side. Good for the biscuit. Okay. I didn't hear anything you were saying. I was fighting people. Yeah, they're puppets. There's like a little group of them that was on the around the corner when I jumped down, I guess. Yeah. I am at a boat dock. That's not what I thought it was. Uh, I think I'm right next to that track you're talking about. I don't know. It's kind of hard to look at Discord when there's puppets everywhere, but so okay, you're on the other side. Yeah, so are you towards the shipyard? Okay, I'm in the town up above it, so I have to come all the way down. Every time I've swam across, I've getting my ass ate by sharks, but I'll try it, I guess. Uh, yeah, I'm literally I'm on the other side of it. I'm on the docks like right next to that, so I'm gonna try for it. Yeah, I don't really know how you fight sharks in this game because you can get out of a say what? No. Yeah, you can't stab them either because I tried that before with a spear. You can't attack or anything. They grab you, you can press F. I like how I'm trying to be stealthy and this drone shines the fucking light on me. It's probably one way that people with high stealth get kind of fucked over. You imagine like creeping up on somebody and then it just a light turns on. You're like, shit. Oh shit. There has to be some sort of balance there. I figure whenever that hacking and programming skill, like they're gonna have to have it to where people can like hack those drones and figure out where other people are or something. Yeah, I think there would have to be something related to like the drones. But if you can fly a drone, that's gonna be crazy because then you could put like a C4 on the drone and then fly it over a wall. Up, shark, shit. Yeah, if he gets me again, I'm definitely dead. Probably will. And he made me drop my bow. Shit. Yeah, I'm yeah, I'm definitely. I got 5 HP right now. I don't think I'm gonna make it. Probably would have been better off just like farming fame somehow and then dropping down in a sector. But I mean, I would slowly starve to death, but I mean, that wasn't the biggest thing in the world. Where the hell am I even at right now? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can store them somewhere in a box. I probably have to. I don't know. I don't really know how useful it would be for me to have a gun because if I don't have the ability to get more ammo for it, then I'm gonna end up pretty much losing it or not having any use for it. But well, I mean, I would say, if anything, like a shotgun or something that I can use like crafted ammo for, like the revolvers. But ooh, that was the best landing I've had, and it was in the wrong direction. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna watch some videos over endurance and stuff. Mm, I died that shark. You can't escape the shark because literally, like, as soon as it hits you, you can tap F and then get out of it, but it gets you again in like 10 seconds. So if you're not literally like right next to the beach, you're fucked. And it's just I don't understand how you're supposed to fight it. Maybe if you drop like fish or something in the water. Yeah. I think you'd probably have to like put bait. I mean, I spawned like 3 different times and then I landed back in A0, so yeah, it's kind of I just keep coming down in here. I mean, it's the place that's pretty much the generally in a decent spot for me to get most of the things that I need at the first of the game. So I don't, but I'll probably, okay. I've only been down there, I think, like once so far, but probably would go back. I remember, I think I died or something. Something happened there. Yeah. I mean, having a base over there in Z1 probably wouldn't be terrible because I mean, you're kind of in between two different trading posts, but I don't know. This scrapyard over here just seems like it's really good to get access to as well. Just for like which one? I mean, I've clicked most of them. Yeah, I mean, I clicked on that. Yeah, I've yeah. I mean, I clicked it before, so I mean, I've kind of been looking at it. Oh, yeah, I mean, I could probably try and get better at bunkers. I mean, there's a few of them down here. This like the smaller little guarded areas I could probably get used to and going into. Yeah, I'm kind of heading towards that water base to the north over there because I was gonna try and go into it and see what was in there. But so is that good or? Yeah, so I mean that might be pretty good. But you have to have lock picking to get into them. Are they shitty locks or are they decent locks? Yeah, but is kill box good to do? Because I don't have any dire need to go do a kill box. Okay. Well, I know there's a bunker here in A0. There's a bunker below the airport thing to the south in Z0 as well. So there's two that is pretty close, and then there's some sort of compound above the the A0 bunker over here that has a mech in it. But if I get a raft again, I can raft all the way up the river to the corner of the map, and there's two places with mechs up there as well at D0. But I'm having a hard time figuring out where the hell to store a raft because if people keep stealing it, there's nowhere I can really. Yeah. I mean, I guess I mean it's possible maybe it floated back into the trading post area and then got destroyed. Yeah, I was parked outside of the trading post on the beach though, so I don't really know if. Hmm, hmm. Oh, I thought about maybe like on A0 where that white road is, there's a little dip where the water kind of like goes inland and maybe I could stash. Yeah, like on the river there's a little dip that's like literally on the river that I feel like you might be able to like store it in. It's next to a white road. Then I could run from my base to the dip, get the boat, and then I my plan is I want to ride the boat when I so like when I go to the junkyard, it's like basically about a square distance to there. And I'm thinking, if I'm gonna load up on a bunch of loot, I could ride the raft from there up the river to where it does that hard left, and then I would be in between the junkyard and whatever the hell that is. I guess a castle on the left or something. and then I could run and loot stuff, bring it back to the boat, and then ride the boat back down, and then I would have less distance to carry it to the base. Yeah. But my main thing right now is that I don't have a base. So I gotta get toolboxes and everything, and that's my big thing right now is toolboxes. Well, because it's like so I mean the toolbox doesn't seem too bad. I don't know why I keep thinking it's gonna take forever for me to make them, but it's like bolts and screws and all that. And for the most part, like I've been able to run to either the airport or the junkyard and bring back, like a couple of decent like gear or like a pistol holster or something. I can get like a couple thousand for like going to the trader, and then like 20 nails or whatever is like 600. So I can get, yeah. Well, my thing is like every time that I've rebuilt a character, I've tried to become like more streamlined in how I can get started off, and like the R&D or like of finding a bolt or a nail in a car just isn't as efficient to me as like going and just buying it from a trader. 'Cause I mean, 600 bucks or whatever for 20 compared to just like finding a bunch of nails. And I find like a decent amount of nails, but and then like the hammers, I guess you'd have the main thing, I guess you'd have to craft boxes and then I guess craft a shit ton of hammers. You need a stone, a stick, and a rope, and then you can use that to make a toolbox. So I feel like making hammers would be faster than finding a bunch of melee weapons. It says you can use a bat. I think it says you can use a wooden club. Okay. Yeah. So that's kind of something I've been. So like that place I wanted to build up north. If I look at this map, like so like car garages, because originally I wanted to build in those log cabins around that lumber yard. There's 4 car garages that are pretty close to the lumber mill, and then there's 3 more at a town that's, like, a little bit farther away. But, like, not even a square's distance, you have, I don't even know, like, 20 car garages at different spots. And then, like, workshops, there's 4 or something in the closest towns, and then in D1, yeah. So I mean, there's four like in the wooden one in three different areas, or there's four in that town in D1 on the edge, and there's three car garages in that town on D1, and like, but the vehicle repair shops, I mean, there's only like one in that area, but I don't know exactly how much you need. There's one bunker there, and when I'm looking at it, it's saying that there's two armories and two offices, one depot, or there's four offices, one kill box. So I mean, it seems like it would have access to most of everything that you would need, but I just yeah. That's pretty much the end game for most bases that don't want to get raided. You just build up there. My whole thing is just, if I built up there, I'd build out of wood and you'd have all the ice and cold to keep people out, but I just don't know if it's worth it or not. Yeah, yeah. Well, that place where I was going to build, it had those two buildings right there. The other thing I liked about it was that it had I know like the towns there aren't super good, but it had a shit ton of feathers and stuff that you could gather in the area. And I'm pretty sure like when you craft more advanced arrows, instead of it leveling survival, it levels archery. So I could level my archery up by crafting a shit ton of those just arrows while I'm there. But yeah, I know I found that chainsaw that would have helped a lot, and I keep running into this guy's base. I swear to fucking. This guy has a tractor if it's still here. I think his base grew. I feel like I know who this dude is though, because somebody mentioned that their tractor blew up or something the other day, and I think it's these guys. Yeah. Last time I was here, I was trying to like test out the wheelbarrow because they had one inside, and then somebody came up and tried to shoot me with I don't even know, a 22 or some shit, and they missed like 1,500 rounds, and I was just running in a circle. But I don't know. They got a pretty decent sized base, and being this close to the scrapyard, I mean, you could basically get as much stuff as you wanted out of this thing. I'd say go for it. So what is this? A wooden club. Let me see if that's an option here. Probably found one at some point. So if I was gonna craft a toolbox, I think the wooden club would be the best thing because for the Yeah, because the hammers, you have to have a rock, a stick, and rope, whereas the wooden club is just an axe and then uh, a plank. So literally, and then if I have the bolts and screws, I would need 3 planks, an axe, bolt and screws, and then 2 pieces of scrap metal. So I don't know why I've been worried about toolboxes this whole time because my whole thing in my head is that when I was looking at upgrading base walls, like the bob wire and the metal and all that stuff seemed kind of annoying, but it would be like 35 toolboxes to upgrade this wall, and I'd be like, shit, that's a lot. Because like every upgrade, you got to do like 35, 36 toolboxes. Like it's a lot of fucking toolboxes. Yeah, for like 1,200 bucks or however much it would be, I can get the scrap metal. So I mean, literally, I could get 20 for 1,200. Well, I think so. I don't remember exactly what the cost was, but basically a package of nails or bolts at the trader, I think I don't know exactly. I think it was 600, but you get 20 of them in each package. I know I did two runs where I sold at the trader the other day, and I had like 4 or 6 packages of nails and bolts in my box, but that dude took it when he came by, so I don't. That's what that's what I'm saying though, like looting, because I've been looting shit, but it's a roll of the dice if you're gonna find a nail or a bolt. It's easier to find bolts than nails, but yeah. See, but like, how much time does it take to do that though? Because like if I run to that shitty airport that's like south of me, I can find like usually I don't know, like a airplane repair kit or something, and it sells for like $1,000. Yeah. So so if you go to the trader, you can sell those for like 1,000 or 2,000 or something, and then you could buy 2 or 3 different things. Like just like this, like I went to the scrapyard, I found this ballista bow like 4 or 5 times by now, and it's 100-pound draw strength. So I mean, like one of the better bows. If I go and buy it at the trader, it it's pretty expensive, but they give you a max durability. This one's like 45 durability. Yeah, it's just easy to craft stuff for it and everything else. So. See, this is what gets me though, is I find like so there's an improvised campfire laying on the ground here. And like that place up north that I wanted to build, there was a campfire like place there as well. So I like that's what makes me really iffy building places. Yeah, the flag thing I think is what gets me the most because it's like so if you on a toolbox. Yeah, but yeah, they'll put a flag down and they'll build there. But if you have a flag and you don't have walls, then they can claim the flag and then you lose it anyway, right? So it's like that's what I don't understand. Like you got to build everything in secrecy, and I don't know if you can do that fast enough. Honestly, I think if I was going to be like super hardcore in this game, I would like build a character with like max survival and like medium endurance or whatever, or whatever it is, like max survival. Build my boxes, go and gather all my materials, and then I would remake a character go like engineering, and then come and build everything. And at that point, you wouldn't really need as much like survival or anything. But like long term, it wouldn't be worth it. But hmm. Well, it's kind of like this junkyard. I mean, it has a ton of metal. You can get barbed wire, and then there's like piles of bricks. So I don't think upgrading my walls would be terrible, at least until cement. But yeah, but I gotta have a way to like get there and drag everything back. So I need a car probably before I do that. Because my main issue right now is just storage space. Like I have a hard time finding like backpacks and stuff down here. Like I can craft one, but it's not the biggest. So if I run all the way to the freaking junkyard, I can only carry like 2 or 3 items with me. Whereas if I get the raft, I could, carry, quite a lot all the way back to the traders, but can't keep my raft safe. So it's just this big cycle of that's going on here. Yeah. Really want to figure out like I need to find I guess like some bobby pins or something. I want to figure out like how useful this lock picking is. To- Yeah. So what exactly do you do in a kill box? Like so I need the key. Where do you find the key at? Is it okay? There's a battery over here. Um doesn't seem bad. So in the kill box it's just what like or is it like it's wave mode? They just have a bunch of people too or hmm. Mm. Yeah. So you basically need a team where you have like a guy who's good at lock picking and demolition and everything. Yeah. So if you do advanced thievery and you need medium demolition, if you don't fuck up, then there's nothing that spawns, right? Is there? Yeah. Yeah. I haven't even seen that yet, so I think it doesn't sound terrible, but where like I think I can probably get a decent amount of stuff done out here, but like where do you think like I'm having a really hard time finding thread. That's kind of like a major setback to a lot. I could probably buy it at the trader. I haven't really looked, but holy shit. There's a huge rock pile in here that has massive rocks. This rock weighs 1,500 pounds. Holy shit. Can I throw these? Can you fucking smash somebody with this? How do I? You can throw it, but there's no way that's 1,500. Oh, it's kilograms. 1,500 grams. Okay. Yeah, I thought about taking over one of these little shacks at the scrapyard, but crest with a bunch of buildings. You talking about the that town or whatever on the right side with the road that goes to it? Yeah. Oh, that dock thing. It has. Yeah. Okay. So what spawns in the weapons plant? Is it ammo or what's it? So so you get a bunch of weapons like guns there? Because that's part of the thing. When I had my raft, I tried to explore, and I went that way. I was trying to get over there, but I ended up making it to that gas station, and somebody shot at me. So I don't know. Uh, there's like a little boat dock, like a little bit down the coast on the right to it, and it has gas there. It's just a boat dock with the gas pumps. But I have to look at. Yeah. Yeah, I was having a hard time getting the right wind to make it all the way into that little cove, and so I got stuck over there, and I decided to look at that gas station, and somebody shot at me there, and I had to run away. So, but like, because I didn't die there, but like from there, like basically that raft it relies on wind, and when I was trying to sail around that trading post, the wind kept shifting, and I was having a hard time getting the boat to go where I wanted, and so I got stuck in the water for a while, and then I ended up parking it on the coast, and then when I logged back on, the boat was gone. So mhm. Factory and train station, yeah. So I mean, I find a couple of guns at that airport and the little bunker thing to the right of it, and then yeah, yeah, dude, donkeys are the most annoying shit to hunt too, because like where my base, I wanted wolves and stuff to spawn around my base to keep people from like breaking into it. But where I'm trying to build right now, if I go so like up on the hill, you can't build on the hill directly above me because there's a big ass orchard up there. It has like trees and shit that spawn fruit. And behind that there's always one goat and one donkey that spawns. And they just kind of like run in circles like crazily and you can't get them to stop. It's the most annoying shit ever. But I mean it's food. Yeah, I mean, I basically just let them run in circles because it's like if you don't want to hunt something that you have to chase down, that's basically where you go because like you can keep hitting them and they'll just run in a circle around you. But yeah, I fought a bear like when I first got on this server and I killed it pretty easily with a little stick. But yeah, there's some place I don't remember where it is exactly. I think it's like C3 or something. There's a spot that had, like, a big ass rock with a wolf like, it's like a wolf den. There's, like, 4 or 5 wolves around it, and then there's, like, 2 bears and a boar or something, like, literally right there. I don't know, I'm assuming it's a den because I don't know what it is, but I think wolves spawn around the weird looking big ass rocks that are in, like, the middle of forest, but also there's holes in the ground, like, there's caves. There's one of them. That one that I was looking at, I think it was a den, but it literally looked like a big ass boulder, and there's a hole where you could go down underground right there. And I didn't go into it. It's either like a cave or it's just a hole in the ground. I don't really know, but yeah. Well, they spawn. It's like I mean, I think they spawn more there. I just don't know because like I run into bears and stuff out in the wild, but that one was outside of a town somewhere. I just don't remember where it was. Every time I've run into a bear, it's always been like kind of outside of town where it's like kind of a plain area. And anytime I run into wolves, it's like in a forest. So I don't really know. It had to have been like I would guess probably somewhere at the bottom of C2. But also that C3 on the right side, there's like a little bitty town where the white road connects to the yellow, and that's where I found that truck the other day. I wasn't able to fix it or anything though. What the hell is? Yeah, what's that weird ass looking blob underneath C3 on the right side? It has all the white roads around it. It looks like a freaking germ or something on the map. Yeah, like so if you look, yeah, bottom right, like the very top right of B2 B3, there's like this thing with white roads and it okay. Is there good stuff in there? Or is it just okay? Okay. Well, oh, I guess I don't know exactly what I'm gonna watch probably. I guess I'll make a character trying to see what the difference is between this running and constitution or running and endurance. I mean it's fine. I'm just looking at kind of different things because I want to build bases and stuff. So like I want higher survival and well, if you're gonna build the really big structures and stuff, yeah. But my thing is I'm trying to cut down the time of harvests to like make everything easier. But I only really care about having like medium. Yeah, it has cutting down trees and stuff is quicker. Yeah, but I don't have a chainsaw. I have one up north in a box somewhere, but I don't even like have gas at the moment to put into a chainsaw. I mean, the one that I had was full, but the yeah. I'm trying to just make a build where like if everyone got wiped today and started from zero, I'd want to be able to build everything up pretty quickly from the ground up and I feel like, you know, long term having survival early I don't think would be good, but short term I think yeah. I mean, I know it's pretty quick to level up. I mean, from 0 to basic is you need like 10 trees or something. So, I don't know. I think survival is honestly like I don't know what advanced plus skills exactly are, but if you got advanced plus, the survival would be the quickest out of everything, I bet, to get there. It, because like once you get to advanced, you're getting like 500 XP plus like per tree that you cut down. I had it for like a couple of hours the other day, and I already had like 100,000 or something XP. So it's, I mean, if you were crafting a decent bit, man, you could get that to 10 million or whatever it is in a couple weeks, I bet. But for me, I mean, that's just I don't want to like deal with having to go and find the best everything and then come over there and cut my stuff because like when I look at intelligence skills, like awareness will level up when I'm doing survival stuff because every time I cut something, it's going to give me a more awareness. The sniping I can level up. The camouflage is kind of passive and super specific. Engineering is good, but from like medium engineering to advanced it basically reduces the cost by like one box per build and a few planks or something. But it's good like if you're building like a cement base or whatever. But since I don't have the ability to just go and get cement and stuff at the first of the game, I'm not really worried about it. I figure I can level up to advanced decently well, and then like medical, I'm interested in medical not because it gives you like increased heal speed or whatever, but from what I've seen, if you get advanced medical, you get like a 0% chance to catch an infection when you get injured. And so, well, that's what I'm starting to do too. Yeah, because you can. Well, like the boxes and so basically, I think like the most expensive thing you can get is it's a bottle of antibiotics, but it's like 6,000 at the trading post, but you get like 24 uses. So I mean, yeah, I think if they ever make like trading posts where there's like some sort of mini game to get access to the materials, then medical would kind of come higher up on the radar because infections are like the worst thing in this game. I feel like every time that I've tried to do something, the infection skill just it slowly just takes you over and eats you, and it's fucking terrible. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I don't really know where exactly the best bases would be to build, but building on slope seems to be kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest. Um, I figured out that there's a way to raise your, because I was trying to make walls out of the foundations. Um, but you can raise your foundation off the ground, but it requires basically slowly building the foundations higher and higher and then like using stairs or whatever. But it's you can only go so far off the ground before it turns red. But, but that's my plan at the moment is I'm gonna get toolboxes and stuff and then basically pull the foundations up off of the ground and then make a wall of a foundation level that you can't jump over. And then I'm gonna put a basic ass wood wall around the outside of it. So if someone wants to like break in, they're gonna use a C4 on the outside wall, and then there's gonna be 3,000 HP foundations behind it, and then I'll have another basic wall behind that, and on top of those, I'll put the freaking wooden barricades. So if they hit those, they you lose like half your HP. And then in front of that, I'm probably just gonna put like single wall pillars where it's just a bunch of wood beams. They only have like 150 HP, but I mean it's cheaper than building an actual wall, and it keeps people from coming close to it. So, but like, how can you melee? So if enemies can they like melee your building and break in? So like 150 HP on a pole, like how long would that take to break down with like an axe? I don't. Okay, so I mean that's basically what I was hoping for. So you'd have to waste a C4. Okay. Okay. See, I was wondering about that because or before I settled on the those wooden barricades, I was trying to figure out something to stick on top of the foundations to like keep people from being able to jump onto the foundation from uh so they would have to blow it up, but like dressers and everything else, like from what I saw, people said that they could get destroyed and stuff. So I don't know. Because basically you can't put a wall on a foundation, but you can put items on top of the foundation. And so if I could fill up a foundation with a bunch of items, then I could make my walls thick and they would take a long time to get through it, but I don't know. But yeah. Um I might do some research on the kill box and I don't f- I don't think endurance would be too bad. If you can't find a place to build though, I'm sure you probably can, but okay. Well, if you wanted to build kind of where I've been at, the that whole mountainside in between me and the trading post, completely vacant, and there's like a bunch of flat spots, and it's like the tallest place around everywhere there. So I mean, well, I mean the winter biome, there's places to build if you want to. But I was talking about A0, like that. So like between like the bridge and that trading post where that white trail goes around the mountain peak, that whole top part there is like completely vacant and there's like a bunch of big flat areas on top of it and it's like the tallest place around. And I'm planning on building right in front of where the bridge is on the other mountainside. So I mean, I basically could kind of control that little U that goes over there, but that whole top place over there is just a massive area. But there's not like a ton of crazy loot spots around an A0, but there's the scrapyard and stuff is like a 1 square away to the north. You got the bunker and stuff 1 square away to the north. You got this other one that's kind of like a little bit farther north there. You got the airport. You got those two things down south in the cities. What at Z3? Okay. All right. I mean, that's fine. If you get a motorboat or something though, like, because I was trying to use the raft, but if we could find a motorboat, we could take that river, like literally that river right there. You can go all the way to the top north, and you can go pretty much to the center of the map. So it's, mm, I really like the all the cabins. Like, I like the idea of the cabin being able to just like slowly collect wood and stuff, but it's kind of difficult. When I first got on this server, I went to the big city and I just found an apartment building and kind of just went in there and placed my shit down because I was like, what's the odds that somebody's going to come and check one apartment building out of like 1500? Just yeah, it's probably still there. I'm basically had everything set up and nothing bothered me for a while. I just had a hard time finding stuff that I needed in the city. I didn't really know what I needed at the moment. I mean, there's like a school there that you find a bag in, and mm, okay, that sounds pretty good. I might have to go back and explore the city. I get lost up there a decent bit because I know there's like a police station somewhere, but I had like an apartment thing somewhere like towards the north of the city, and then outside of the city limit, like on the north side, there's like a warehouse building. And basically, I found a little bicycle and I was parking it in that building. And then I would go out in town, ride my bicycle around, and then put it back in the warehouse when I was done. But uh, I don't know if that's still there or not. I left the bicycle way back. Now that I know that they're actually something that you can buy and they're like 7,000 or something. I mean, I don't know. I think it's like would endurance. I don't know if like riding a bicycle increases your running or anything, but it would increase your conditioning, I would think. And I know like endurance would probably be important for bicycling because I don't know. I'm gonna watch a couple of videos and maybe find some food real quick. If you I guess you say you're trying to build on a different server? Okay. Well, I guess, if you find a place you want to build, if you want help, I can go over there and help you. And then if I guess maybe you could give me a couple of loot boxes I could store extra supplies in, and then I could slowly build my own place over here, maybe. I don't really know exactly. Um, yeah, because I'm gonna have the survival skill. I can cut down the trees and everything else. I need to. I've been trying to build a wheelbarrow for the longest time. That's probably the biggest thing. I want to test how. Yeah, but like I assume it can hold a decent amount of wood. I don't really compared to like carrying it. Yeah, but you got to push the wood over to the log shed. I don't know, but I just trying to figure out how the hell like to because I know you can like go into tab and like slowly drag things across the ground, but I figured you could probably toss like I don't know like 30 logs or something into a wheelbarrow and then push it over, cut it, toss it in the thing. But okay, I mean that makes sense. These guys really think of everything. That's pretty nice. Hmm. I do like it. It makes me want to go back and buy that freaking Danny DeVito expansion pack thing just to support him a little bit more. Maybe I could buy a second account. Mm, yeah, I didn't really find many double cabins at all. Like I know, um, there's I don't know exactly who's building there, but in D2, originally, like those were the cabins I was going to. There's in the back over there, there's like 4 or 5 like cabin buildings, like, or I don't know if it's 4 or 5. There's a few buildings that are like pretty damn close together. Like they're not like neck and neck together, but there's a hill where there's like a log cabin or something on your left, and then there's like a shelter like up top on the hill, and then there's like another building a little bit below. Like there's a bunch of them grouped up right there. Um, I thought I saw somebody building in the lumber mill, but I don't know if you can. There's like two foundation like things laid in the middle of the lumber mill, so I don't know. Yeah, because it didn't look like it was buildable, but um, yeah, I think those cabins up there are pretty nice though, because those cities around there. I mean, there's quite a few garages and everything else like around there. So mm, well, if you're in single player, like, don't you have to change the rules or something? Because I tried to build stuff like that in single player, and you can build anywhere. It's just kind of uh, well, I mean, you can place them down on like airport strips and stuff. I think that the rules are different from official. Okay, well, I don't know if this looks good or not, but uh, it's not the cabins I was talking about on in D2, but like in D3, there's two different log cabin spots right there that have like a bunch of red dots around them. I don't know if those are like multiple buildings or what. Okay. So you want a log cabin with multiple buildings, not around the city, and you don't like the cold biome, right? Okay. No cold. Log cabin. Kind of looks like there might be a log cabin with maybe a secondary building next to the water in C1. Okay. 'Cause it looks like there's a couple of groupings with a few buildings. Honestly, I was kind of wondering about like if you had a big enough group, not even building a base, but just taking over a whole town, like just lock every single door in a town. But mm, log cabin. What the hell? There's a log cabin in A1 in the middle of fucking nowhere. I don't even know where that is. It doesn't have a building on it, but it looks like just basically in the middle of the woods and fucking just I don't even know. There might be one with two buildings in B1 in the bottom left corner. It's a log cabin and some other building next to it. It's kind of in the woods and kind of decently far from the road, maybe, but you would have a road that goes all the way down to some town, and you could go directly down into Z1 from there. I mean, you're kind of like be close to the airport and the railroad track. sort of. And there's a log cabin with, I think, probably a building pretty close to it in B2. Mm. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna cook some lunch and stuff. I'll be back on here in a little bit, probably, if I don't go to a football game, because my aunt was trying to get me to go watch my cousin play, and it's like at 7, and I'm waiting on my sister to call me and see if she's gonna go. If she's not, then I'll probably stay home. But it is like 2:30. Yeah. So yeah, I guess if you find a place, holler, and I'll come and help you out or whatever when I get on. And the I work right now pretty much Friday night to Monday morning. I work, so other than that, I'm good for now. So all right, all right. See you, man.
or endurance. We're focusing on endurance. Okay, so you were running or jogging. Okay, and that's it, guys. You can walk away from your computer now. Okay, all you have to figure out is I'm using 300 calories per hour. Okay, so I have to be back at my character within an hour, and if my water gets to about 30%, I just want to drink 3 times. Okay. Or the best method to drink water is to take a canteen, drink all until it's 50%, stop drinking, and then drink all again until it's 50%. And that will sustain your water very, very nicely. Okay? But this we can do AFK constantly. Okay? Even if it reaches max stamina. Let's wait a little bit until it reaches max. Yeah? Until it reaches minus 61. Okay, so there we go. Still gaining the maximum amount of dexterity, still gaining a little bit of constitution, still gaining the maximum amount of strength, still gaining endurance. Okay, and if you don't want to kill your character, you can always take some weight off. Okay, and there you see now we're on the limit. We're not on 28,800, but we're on 28,526, which is fine. Which is fine. Okay, we just want to put a little bit less pressure on ourselves. But we're burning 370 calories now. Let's put that on again. We're still roughly burning 370 calories, guys. So now it's fine, okay, to max out the strength. But if you want to jog with weight on you and you don't want to kill your character, then it's nice to take some weight off until you see that change dropping, and then you can manage it much better, okay? But all you have to do now is, like I say, drink water, drink cool from any water bottle, a 2-liter bottle, or a canteen until your stomach is at 45%. Then stop drinking, and then drink all again until your stomach is just before 90%. Don't let it go into 90%. Stop it at about 88%. Then you stop it, and you won't have a water problem for a long time. Okay? We're just burning about 242 milliliters per hour. So once your water gets to full, this will keep you at least 2 hours in game, and your calories will keep you at least 1 hour in game. So you can't go and sleep now. You can go and sleep, but then your character is going to be dead when you come back. But this is why I prefer endurance, guys, because now I can spend time with my family. I can watch a movie. I can exercise. There's a lot of things that I can do for roughly an hour. Because if I fill up my food to 100%, then I'll be able to be away, okay, for at least 2 hours in game. Okay, which isn't bad at all. Isn't bad at all. Now, so that's it, guys. Like I say, you can do it with that. You can do it with crosses. Okay, doesn't really matter. Crosses are just way cheaper. Okay, crosses are just way cheaper to do it. Okay, so, and this I will show you in the rest of the guide. But let's rest quickly, and then I'll show you how to just get a nice balance. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to get your constitution to match your, to be better, because we're crawling. We need a little bit more speed to level up our constitution at a good rate, like we're leveling up the strength and the dexterity. Okay, and then we're going to look at how to level up multiple skills with the method that I just showed you. So I'll be back now. Okay, guys, so for you guys that have vehicles, to walk into a cross or a cupboard takes very, very fine tuning. A lot of times you're not going to get it right, okay? It's better to use a house, like I've shown in the past. So you enter a house and you walk into 2 solid objects, like a chair and table, or a wall and a cupboard. Like you just have to walk into 2 surfaces, okay? But with a tractor, you can just get onto the back, okay? and with a little bit of fine tuning, okay, you can just leave your character like that. You can literally walk in on the back of the track. Okay, so there we've got water efficiency, and that will just help you to level up your constitution a little bit faster. Okay, so what did I mean by a canteen? Okay, so you're going to take canteen, so you're going to say drink all until your stomach reaches about 45%. Just look at your stomach over here. As soon as it reaches 45%, you're going to stop drinking, and then you're going to say drink all again. And then you're going to stop drinking before this hits 90%. Okay? And there we go. Now we've got an intake of 750 milliliters per hour, and these two are going to take very long, okay, to run out. So we can't carry anything in. A tractor I like, guys. Tractor's got a lot of blockages for me to walk into. Okay? Like the tire at the front is a nice place for me. So I'm maxing out my strength. I'm getting 70,000 this time instead of 20,000. Okay? And I'm getting 24,000. So now all three of these are going to level up at the same speed. Okay? Just make sure your tractor is solid. If it glitches around a bit, it's going to not let you carry on like this. But if it's on a flat surface, okay, this will be very easy. So if you've got a vehicle, it's much, much easier to do this. And as you can see, we're just burning 242 milliliters per hour, but we're gaining 750 milliliters per hour. Okay? The big thing here is that you're going to have to fold this up really, really quickly because your carbs counts as a buffer for your protein and your fat. So you're going to have to eat carbs that gives you more than 300 calories per hour. Okay, so how can we do that? Now, at Ocean Towns, you'll get dates. Okay, which those palm trees gives you dates. Okay, like this. If you search for the palm trees, it's going to give you dates. So how many dates must you eat to get to 300? One date, and you're gaining more energy. Okay, you're gaining more energy than what you're burning. 400. Look at the calories, guys. 356. Okay, we're not losing any dexterity. We're not losing any dexterity at the moment. But as long as that date's in our system, we are going to be gaining energy. We are not going to be losing energy. Okay? You can eat 2 dates if you want to. You know? If you want to make sure that energy goes up, you can eat another one. Okay, you can eat 1, but 2 is also going to help you. Okay? Now we're losing dexterity because we ate 2 of them. Okay? But soon the dexterity will go back to 0. But like if you want to gain, you know, if you want to gain quite a bit of energy so that you can relax again, that's fine. But look at the intake of the carbs. Okay, the carbs are climbing very, very nicely now. So this is a really good system, guys, to level up your strength, your constitution, and your dexterity at the same rate. Okay, of course, if you start with as soon as these carbs are full, then I'll just walk again. Then I won't eat anything, and then I'll be gaining the full amount of dexterity. Okay. So I hope you guys understand that. If you've got any questions, leave it down in the comments below. And then, just as a future reference, okay. Again, you have to crawl. Okay, if you don't have a vehicle, you have to crawl into these objects, otherwise it's not going to work. So if you want to get a bush, put the 3 chests down, or the 3 cabinets down, crawl in here, okay, until until it activates. Okay, so there's activated. And now you are building your endurance. Okay, you are building your strength. You are building your constitution at a little bit slower. And you will be building your dexterity as soon as this food goes through your system. But the best thing of all is you're building your stealth as well. You guys can see the stealth here. You're building your stealth. Okay, we will cover stealth more in depth in future videos. And then, of course, you're leveling up your camouflage. Okay, so how many things are we leveling up at the same time? Camouflage is 1, stealth is 2, endurance is 3, strength is 4, constitution is 5, and then as soon as the food completes our system, dexterity is 6. 6 things that you're leveling up at the same time, guys. You can do this AFK. Look how long the water stays in our body. Okay? Look how long the water stays in our body. That's why I say now water's in the green again. Okay? This works like a charm. And as soon as this first date is done, we're going to be at 0 dexterity again. And then as soon as both are done, then we're going to be gaining 24,000. We're going to be gaining plus 0.24,000. Okay. For now, we are just building up our cards, and as we can see, the dates gives us the dates gives you about 50 cards per hour. Okay, so the dates really helps with your cards, and you must try and keep these cards good. If you don't want to lose any dexterity, just eat one date at a time. Okay, we already saw that. Just eat one date at a time. I'm just showing you guys, if you're in a hurry and you want to boost these carbs to full and you want to go somewhere for an hour, okay, or 2, then do that. Okay, and when you come back, you would have gained quite a bit. And that's how you AFK endurance. So, to finalize constitution, like we see, constitution is very important. Okay, for your health points. Okay, at 5 constitution, you'll have 100, like here. You'll have 120 HP instead of just 100. Okay, and you'll have a ton more stamina. Okay, which is combined with your endurance. And later in the game, you will have damage and status resistances when they bring new stuff into the game, like poison and shock and stuff. Your immune system will be much stronger, and your calorie and water consumption efficiency will be a lot better as well. Okay, so constitution is extremely important, guys, but this is why I put all my points into running when I create my character. Okay, if you put all your points into endurance, you won't use. You'll use like 15% less water and food, and you are going to regain your stamina very fast. Okay. If you take advanced endurance, you're going to regain your stamina like nothing, guys. But because you run a lot at the beginning of the game, and because you need to run and be active, okay, to level up your running, it's just better for me. If you think you're going to sit in a car all day and you're never going to run, like never ever, I don't know, they take endurance, but running is just much better for me on the battlefield. With advanced running, nobody can catch me, and I can catch anyone, and no one can catch me. So if another person took advanced running, we were more or less the same speed. But anyone else that didn't start with advanced running, I will be able to catch them in game, and I'll be able to run away from people that want to kill me in game if they didn't take advanced running. So it's just got a lot of utility in game, which I like a lot. Okay, but again, it's up to you. Running is a skill that shows how athletic. Okay, it influences your jogging and your running speed, and you will see at the bottom affects stamina consumption rate and then jog speed and run speed. Okay, and your stamina consumption rate will go down will be minus 30% at advanced running, and you will be able to run and jog 50% faster. Okay, so not only are you using 30% less stamina when you're running, meaning you can run much further, 30% further than anyone else, and you're running 15% faster than anyone else. Okay, and then at endurance, again, stamina recovery rate, as I told you guys, and then the energy and water consumption rates. Okay, and then your energy usage will be minus 15% at advanced endurance. Your water usage will be minus 15%. And then your stamina recovery rate won't be at minus 10%. At the moment, with no endurance, our stamina recovery rate is actually minus 10%. Okay, but when we reach advanced endurance, our stamina recovery rate will be plus 20%, and you'll see a major difference in game. And like I say, guys, there we're gaining the max amount of dexterity again. Okay, until this becomes too low. Yeah. And then it's going to start burning through that. So we're going to have about an hour and a half that we don't have to be here. Okay, and we gain the max dex. Again, I prefer jogging into a car, but with this method, you're gaining you're increasing 6 skills at the same time. Okay, which is better for me. But if you're just focusing on your attributes, rather jog into a vehicle. Okay. So guys, my name's Matthias. If you enjoyed this, do me a favor and click that like button. And if you want to see and learn everything there is to see and learn about skating, do yourself a favor and click that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time. We are going to speed this up because the 0.7 update is very close. So in the next video, we will be covering Ebury and demolition. The video after that, we will be covering motorcycling and driving. Video after that. Okay. Your constitution a little bit faster. Okay, so what did I mean by a canteen? Okay, so you're going to take a canteen, so you're going to say drink water until your stomach reaches about 45%. Just leave your stomach over here. As soon as it reaches 45%, you're going to stop drinking. And then you're going to say drink water again. And then you're going to stop drinking before this hits 90%. Okay? And there we go. Now we've got an intake of 750 milliliters per hour. And these two are going to take very long, okay, to run out. So we can't carry anything in. A tractor I like, guys. A tractor's got a lot of blockages for me to walk in. Okay? Like the tire and the front is a nice place for me. So I'm maxing out my strength. I'm getting 70,000 this time instead of 20,000. Okay? And I'm getting 24,000. So now all three of these are going to level up at the same speed. Okay? Just make sure your tractor is solid. If it kitches around a bit, it's going to not let you carry on like this. But if it's on a flat surface, okay, this will be very easy. So if you've got a vehicle, it's much easier to do this. And as you can see, we're just burning 242 milliliters per hour, but we're gaining 750 milliliters per hour. Okay. The big thing here is that you're going to have to fold this up really quickly because your carbs counts as a buffer for your protein and your fat. So you're going to have to eat carbs that gives you more than 300 calories per hour. Okay, so how can we do that? Now at Ocean Towns, you'll get dates. Okay, which those palm trees gives you dates. Okay, like this. If you search for the palm trees, it's going to give you dates. So how many dates must you eat to get to 300? One date, and you're gaining more energy. Okay, you're gaining more energy than what you're burning. 400. Look at the calories, guys. 356. So we're not losing any dexterity. We're not losing any dexterity at the moment. But as long as that date's in our system, we are going to be gaining energy. We are not going to be losing energy. Okay? You can eat 2 dates if you want to. If you want to make sure that that energy goes up, you can eat another one. Okay, you can eat one, but 2 is also going to help you. Okay? Now we're losing dexterity because we ate 2 of them. Okay? But soon the dexterity will go back to 0. But like if you want to gain, if you want to gain quite a bit of energy so that you can relax again, that's fine. But you get the intake of the carbs. Okay? The carbs are climbing very, very nicely now. So this is a really good system, guys, to level up your strength, your constitution, and your dexterity at the same rate. Okay, of course, you start with as soon as these carbs are full, then I'll just walk again. Then I won't eat anything, and then I'll be gaining the full amount of dexterity. Okay, so I hope you guys understand that. If you've got any questions, leave it down in the comments below. And then, just as a future reference, okay, again, you have to crawl, okay, if you don't have a vehicle, you have to crawl into these objects, otherwise it's not going to work. So if you want to get a bush, put the 3 chests down, or the 3 cabinets down, crawl in here, okay, until it activates. Okay, so that's activated, and now you are building your endurance. Okay, you are building your strength. You are building your constitution at a little bit slower, and you will be building your dexterity as soon as this food goes through your system. But the best thing of all is you're building your stealth as well. You guys can see the stealth there. You're building your stealth. Okay, we will cover stealth more in depth in future videos. And then, of course, you're leveling up your camouflage. Okay, so how many things are we leveling up at the same time? Camouflage is 1. Stealth is 2. Endurance is 3. Strength is 4. Constitution is 5, and then as soon as the food completes our system, dexterity is 6. 6 things that you're leveling up at the same time, guys. You can do this AFK. Look how long the water stays in our body. Okay? Look how long the water stays in our body. That's why I say now water's in the green again. Okay? This works like a charm. And as soon as this first date is done, we're going to be at 0 dexterity again. And then as soon as both are done, then we're going to be gaining 24,000. We're going to be gaining plus 0.24,000. Okay. So now we are just building up our carbs, and as we can see, the dates gives you about 50 carbs per hour. Okay, so the dates really helps with your carbs. And you must try and keep these carbs good. If you don't want to lose any dexterity, just eat 1 date at a time. Okay, we already saw that. Just eat 1 date at a time. I'm just showing you guys, if you're in a hurry and you want to lose these carbs and you want to go somewhere for an hour, okay, or 2, then do that. Okay, and when you come back, you would have gained quite a bit. And that's how AFK do it. So, to finalize constitution, like we see, constitution is very important. Okay, for your health points. Okay, at 5 constitution, you'll have 100 right here. You'll have 120 HP instead of just 100. Okay, and you'll have a ton more stamina. Okay, which is combined with your endurance. And later in the game, you will have damage and status resistances when they bring new stuff into the game, like poison and shock and stuff. Your immune system will be much stronger, and your calorie and water consumption efficiency will be a lot better as well. Okay, so constitution is extremely important, guys, but this is why I put all my points into running when I create my character. Okay, if you put all your points into endurance, you won't you'll use like 15% less water and food, and you are going to regain your stamina very, very fast. Okay? If you take advanced endurance, you're going to regain your stamina like nothing, guys. But because you run a lot at the beginning of the game, and because you need to run and be active, okay, to level up your running, it's just better for me. If you think you're going to sit in a car all day and you're never going to run, like never, never, ever, I don't know, then take endurance. But running is just much better for me on the battlefield. With advanced running, nobody can catch me, and, and I can catch anyone, and no one can catch me. So if another guy took, if another person took advanced running, we were more or less the same speed. But anyone else that didn't start with advanced running, I will be able to catch them in game, and I'll be able to run away from people that want to kill me in game if they don't take advanced running. So it's just got a lot of utility in game, which I like a lot. Okay, but again, it's up to you. Running is a skill that shows how athletic. Okay, it influences your jogging and your running speed, and you will see at the bottom affect stamina consumption rate, and then jog speed and run speed. Okay, and your stamina consumption rate will be minus 50% at advanced running, and you will be able to run and jog 50% faster. Okay, so not only are you using 30% less stamina when you're running, meaning you can run much further, 30% further than anyone else, and you're running 50% faster than anyone else. Okay, and then that endurance again. Stamina recovery rate, as I told you guys, and then the energy and water consumption rates. Okay, and then your energy usage will be minus 15% at advanced endurance. Your water usage will be minus 15%. And then your stamina recovery rate won't be at minus 10%. At the moment, with no endurance, our stamina recovery rate is actually minus 10%. Okay, but when we reach advanced endurance, our stamina recovery rate will be plus 20%, and you'll see a major difference in game. And like I say, guys, there we're gaining the max amount of dexterity again. Okay, until this becomes too low. Yeah. And then it's going to start burning through that. So we're going to have about an hour and a half that we don't have to be here. Okay, and we gain the max dex. Again, I prefer jogging into a car, but with this method, you're increasing 6 skills at the same time. Okay, which is better for me. But if you're just focusing on your attributes, rather jog into a group. Okay. So guys, my name's Matthias. If you enjoyed this, do me a favor and click that like button. And if you want to see and learn everything there is to see and learn about Scum, do yourself a favor and click that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time. We are going to speed this up because the 0.7 update is very close. So in the next video, we will be covering Every and Demolition. The video after that, we will be covering motorcycling and driving. The video after that, we will be covering throwing and stealth. And then after that, we will be covering probably 2 at a time here as well, if we can. Okay. Have a great day. See you guys later. Cheers. All right. I'm Scott O'Neill here in Medellin, Colombia today, and I'm at the world's biggest mosquito factory for the World Mosquito Program. We're making in here 30 million mosquitoes a week. Come have a look. We're doing it for a very serious reason. Cities like Medellin have suffered from diseases like dengue, Zika, chikungunya for decades, but not anymore. We've been able to bring the solution of Wolbachia mosquitoes to the city. When this bacteria called Wolbachia gets introduced into the mosquito, it stops their ability to transmit dengue. We release mosquitoes that have Wolbachia, and when they go and mate, and Wolbachia gets passed into the wild mosquito population. If we're going to control these diseases in all the tropical cities of the world, it's going to require a lot of mosquitoes. The mosquito life cycle starts with the egg, and in this room we've got a lot of eggs. Each one of these strips, these tiny black dots, are up to 10,000 mosquito eggs. Across all of these strips, about 1.5 million dried eggs waiting to hatch. In this tray, we've got the newly hatched eggs. They're little larvae, so small you can hardly see them. They're going to sit in here for a few days and eat and get bigger until they look like these ones over here. They're starting to turn into pupae. We're wanting to do the next step of sorting the males from the females. We want to do that so we can manipulate the sex ratio in the cages to be more female than male. The bottom ones along here are the boys, and the ones at the top are the girls. They're bigger. From here, they're going into the adult cages. We have adults that we continuously grow in what we call our brood stock. And then over here, we have the mass-produced mosquitoes getting ready to give us the eggs to go out directly into the field. It's crazy how they sound. You might wonder why we feed all these mosquitoes here. Well, I can tell you, we've got the good stuff in here. On the top shelf, literally, we've got the blood. They love it. Once the mosquitoes are grown, they're ready to go out into the field. The first way is to get the eggs and package them in a gelatin capsule with food. Wow. There's 300 eggs in here and enough food for the mosquitoes to be able to grow. They just need to be dropped in water. The other approach is to take the adults themselves. Here we have 300, and they can be released off the back of a motorbike. Or even packaged into a drone for aerial release. Half the world's population is currently suffering or at risk of contracting these diseases. We have a solution, and our goal is to scale and deliver it to communities around the world that need it. Trying to wear this pup out, but she's been sleeping a lot more, so she's waking up and full of energy for a while. She feels good. I mean, when I'm actually on the computer, so I think she just sleeps at my feet. But as soon as I get away from the computer, she turns into play mode, and it's just 100% full tilt. Play with her for a little bit. The other day, I actually put a few socks on my hand.
sprinting around like NASCAR. I put like a bottle with some food in it so it made noise. She was like flicking it and then running like figure eights through the living room over here. But she's basically using my computer desk as an obstacle course because of the bars. There's some that's like in the air and some that's like low to the ground. She'll like jump over one, run around my computer, go back through, then like slide underneath the bottom of it, run across the yard, and come back around, go back over, and then tried to like slide under one that was really low to the ground. Almost hit her face, but other than that, but right now, if I want her to leave me alone, I can just put her on the ground and lay on the couch, but she doesn't like it too much. But I'm trying to get her to realize that sometimes you don't bite people when you're trying to sleep. But she's got to the first, the first week that she was here, she did everything perfectly fine, like sleeping and everything, not bothering me when I was like laying on the ground. But now she's associated, but she's like associated it with play now, so she bites the hell out of her ear. I put her in there for punishment the other day. She didn't like that. She calmed down when I took her back out. That was because she, I can't remember what it was. I think she was getting like super freaking aggressive. Or she like, I don't know, there was something that happened. She was like, did something bad and stuck her in the kennel for like 10 minutes and took her back out. But I laid next to it so that she wouldn't be like super long. She didn't really like it though.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Titus, and welcome to part 11 of the Master Series. And today I'm going to try to do a complete food guide for you guys. Okay, what is the best foods to eat to sustain your diet, to build dexterity effectively, to build your strength effectively, and just how to manage your protein, your carbs, and fat. Okay, now for me personally, these are the two most important macronutrients to manage. Okay, I don't really worry about these. I only use alcohol when my energy is really, really low. And I want a quick energy boost, but I hardly ever drink any alcohol. And then if I get cake in a drop or any foods that contain fiber, I'll eat it. I try and stay away from foods that have saturated fat. Okay, it's like butter, animal fat, coconut, cream, chocolate, cheese, chips, and stuff like that. Okay, but these are the three that I focus on. But you guys are more than welcome to tell me in the comments what you focus on. Okay, so we're going to give you 3 steps in managing your diet. Now, so I'm going to fill up this shelf in front of me 3 times. This part 1 of this video is the basic diet, the foods that you can get to quite easily. Okay, so when it comes to water is not a big issue. You can get it at any water source. Okay, any dark blue water source. There's a little river, there's a little river, there's a little dam, there's a river, there's a little river, there's rivers. Here you're going to sit with a little bit of a problem. That's why I always prefer to make wells if I ever want to live in the south, which I don't want to. But here I'm going to focus on wells or water catchers, okay, or just loot the motocross track. The motocross track has got a place, like a thing that gives you. It's got a lot of plant. It's got a lot. And here I am. Okay. So that's why I say the scum map helps you a heck of a lot. Okay. Now I'm just going to reload. Make sure everything's closed up around me, so there's not a lot of puppets that come to me, and I can hear if anyone comes here. Okay. And I'm not going to really focus on the exploders. So I want to equip my wire cutter. Okay. And then I want to go in with the key card. Open. And here's the difficult part. If you've got advanced demolition, you get 6 seconds. With other demolitions, you basically 5 seconds. Okay. But the main thing is just to take your time with this. Okay. So now we just want to get into the first door because puppets are going to come down for us. Okay. The single one is going to zap us, so we want to put on our rubber gloves, and we want to try and get in here as soon as possible. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lie down to save FPS, and then I'm going to try and lockpick it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 8 tries for my first one. So I'm going to switch the gloves. Okay, open the door, close the door. So even if the puppets come down now, I'm safe. Okay, now I'm going to search this and this. Okay, and then we're going to get the loot inside here. So we're getting MP5. Okay, MP5 doesn't take up a lot of space, so what I can do is I can put the MP5 there and put all the attachments on that I need to put on. Okay, just drop the attachments in here first. Then I'm going to put the rail on and the sight on and the suppressor on, and then I can just double check on the rest. Okay, but for now I'm safe. Okay, for now I'm safe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and create space for the MP5. I'll put that there because I opened up the first one quite quickly. Okay, so I'm going to put that one there, and I'm going to put the whole MP5 with its attachments on there. Okay, now I've got a safe zone here in case I struggle with puppets. Okay, so I'm going to get their attention so that they come to me. Then I'm just going to hit them through the gaps. Okay. Just aim in the middle of the gap. The gaps are very, very sensitive. Okay? Just aim in the middle of the gaps. Okay? Now I'm going to try the next one. This one seems quite easy. So it's nice when you get easy ones like this. It's a gold block. We don't want to start around with gold block just yet. Okay? This one is the double bronze. We don't want to do that just yet. Okay, this is the other single bronze. Again, lie down to save some FPS. We've got the new glove on. Okay, let's try this one now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now we want to stand up because our gloves are stuffed in any case. So we want to try and take them on if we can. Okay, now we want to get out of here. Just reload. Okay. Don't really worry about, we're not worried about the bleeding markers. So we want to go, and our glove, that's why we counted, because we know our glove just has 10 uses in it. Okay. So now we're going to go to the next one. Be up here with uses. 1, 2, 4, 5, okay, that was. And it's important to count so that you don't get shocked by surprise. Okay, so now we're going to open up this one. This is a sniper, so again, same thing. We're going to put the attachments in there. Okay, put that on. Put that on. Now the puppet's on the thread because we've got a bayonet on this gun. Okay, and now we just take whatever is in here. And okay. Now we can start moving to the silver one, but I mean puppets aren't going to be a problem anymore. So we're first going to get to the silver. Okay, very lucky there with 100% strike rate. And if the puppets come, we've got the bayonet. So let's just get ready with the bayonet. Okay, so we're going to press the middle mouse button to kill them with the bayonet, which is very easy. Okay, bayonet is very, very overpowered. Check if there's any more puppets in here. Okay, so now we go down again. Just lie on the ground. Okay, see how much use our glove has? 5 uses. We have to keep that in mind. So now we just have 5 chances before we get shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we press OK. We replace the gloves, okay, like this. And we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we're not having a good day there. Okay, we're definitely not having a good day. So now we're going to go to the easy ones. Okay, because we're wasting our gloves at the moment. Okay, now we're just going to go look for the double bronze. Okay, now we're going to do the double bronze, which doesn't need gloves. So we're going to take the glove off because the gloves makes it more difficult for you. 1, 2. Okay, so we've got 12 pieces left. Okay, now we need to take out our gun again. Kill these with the bayonet, which is quite easy. Okay. We're going to keep this down with the bayonet so we don't have to use the pistol. Okay, make sure everything is there. Okay, lie down again. Carry on. Okay, there we got lucky. Okay, so now we can relax. It's only silver 1 that we don't have yet. Okay, but it's still a great round. So I'm going to put the gloves there. Again, what I always do, the gun in here, take all the attachments out so that doesn't take extra inventory space. Okay, just drag the attachments here. Double click on the ammo, which won't take a lot of inventory space. Okay, and then just put the gun in there. Okay, remember I'm solo, guys. I'm solo. So now we're going to go for the silver 1 again because we have got glove uses left. Okay, we're not here for the C4.
Hey Google,
okay, we're definitely here for
what's 3% of 30?
Okay, so then we're getting shocked because we forgot to put our gloves on. Not a great idea. Again, 10 uses. I was close. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Hey Google, what's 3% of 30?
3% of 34 is 1.02.
Hey Google, what's 3% of 30? Google, what's 3% of 30?
Asset.
Hey Google, what is 3% of 30?
3% of 30 is 0.9.
0.9. is. Hey Google, what's 1% of 30?
1% of 30 is 0.3. Secure communication with human asset established. Greetings. Welcome to Skull Island tutorial protocol provided by the Technician. Designation is the entity.
Hey Google, what's 2% of 30?
Preparation of human assets. Activate 0.6 interface. Secure channel.
Two 2.9. This is 29, the higher condition. Time. It's the same amount of speed. Hey Google, what's 1% of 29?
1% of 29 is 0.29.
Perfect. Okay?